morning, everyone. Happy Hats Off celebration. And I'm looking around for some funny hats, for some stylish ones for sure. Thank you, funny hat, and some fun hats and stylish. Very, very good. I'm grateful to Sherry Anderson, Director of Communications, because she's who invited me to do this keynote for this particular event. And when she told me the topics was going to be the power of words and brevity, I thought, wow, those are important. But I realized that I can explore this with you because these have been a personal drumbeat for me in my writing for the last couple of years. You see, I'll tell you a little bit about myself and my writing. My first book was nonfiction, 400 pages. After that, I decided I wanted to learn to say more with less. I did poetry, flash fiction, and picture books for children. So more with less. In this day and age, where people are pounded with a flood of words, whether it's talking, text, tweets, as writers, it's our responsibility to respect them with brevity. Is this in the right place? And the power of words is how we add value and to what they're reading. Because it is truly any wonder that anybody takes time out to read a poem or short story, let alone a book. So we're here wearing hats today to honor those who craft with powerful words in poetry and flash fiction. And I have two, one of each, to share with you in a unique way to get a point across. Costume failure. Not Frank, Bill. Okay. So y'all got that?
Yeah.
So it's interesting because actions do communicate. Some say they speak louder than words, but words, as demonstrated by Susan's presentation, words are powerful. The remarkable thing about words is that words touch people. So you understand, one was a story, and it had a beginning and an end and a likable character that was a little quirky. They had a problem, a challenge, and they were changed by the end of the story. And the poem was about finding joy, and it had imagery, it had appeal to the senses, there was rhythm and simile. So, what the marvel is about words is that when they touch people, it's not just your brain that accomplishes that. It's your heart. Your brain needs your heart. And as a writer, think about when you're blocked. The longest journey from your head to your heart is the one that you must travel. Your heart is able to help your head go from logic to wonder and from reason to possibility. Do this. Feel yourself in your head right now. And now shift to your heart, and it can help to maybe lower your eyes and even touch the center of your heart slightly. Did you feel that? Listen and follow my instructions, and then go into your heart and feel yourself doing something you enjoy. That shift, that feeling, is an increase in vibration. Choose your words from this state, and they'll be powerful and on point. Can you imagine a reader coming up to you and telling you about their experience and how they connected with your message, and they're reflecting it all back to you? It's a mind-blowing thrill. That is energy. And the heart is like rocket fuel. It's high voltage, and it's able to make the mind sharper, and it can reach people and influence, and the reach is far. It's been the magnified energy field of the heart has been measured 8 feet away and more. So I hope that you in the back of the room can feel me. You see, to get to the point, you have to come from the heart of the matter, which for writers and readers is about connection. And in this vibratory world that we live in, connection is about alignment, vibration, and resonance. So you see, to get to the point, in this way, you are a composer and a conductor. Your words are like musical notes. They're vibratory expressions that reach out toward the writer and give them an experience. How do you want to touch your readers? Reason the mind, move and motivate, ignite passion, transport from one world to the next and new possibilities. You must vibe your message. You must be impeccable with your words. And you must remember that you are the source of the power behind words. Thank you. Monterey Bay's Action Writing Program. and as well as a former president and chief editor of the university's student-led liberal arts journal.
All right.
She writes in poetries and sci-fi fantasy. Please welcome JoJo Cook.
Isn't that awesome? We need a little bit more appreciation for that. All right, it is my job now to lay out the ground rules of which we all operated for these contests. No throwing elbows, no aiming for the teeth. Mosh pit etiquette is my 4 o'clock song. So the guidelines for our contest were only GCW members could submit, so no husbands, unfortunately. But if you sign up now, you'll be ready for next year. So our pieces must have been previously unpublished, and we reserve the rights to publish them in our book of winners. 1 submission per writer, so 1 story for the 100 story, 1 poem for the poetry. For the flash fiction, it must be exactly 100 words in the body. The title does not count, and hyphenated words are 1 word. A maximum of 42 lines for poems, and they could be about any topic. You could take us anywhere. There's no theme, just let your imagination run wild. Now, 100 words may seem like a cakewalk to write, but I have read pieces that had 1,000 pages and still could not tell a complete and cohesive story. Our submitters have squeezed blood from stone as far as restraints to create some amazing, compelling, award-worthy stories. I would like to turn over the floor now to have our submitters read their pieces. Which, this piece for him.
That's fine.
This is No Hard Feelings. The last 2 books I've read, Never Let Me Go and White Noise, are preoccupied with death. The authors, Kazuo Ishiguro and Don DeLito, are the preoccupiers. So, it stands to reason that the first song Alexa played for me today was the Abbott Brothers singing No Hard Feelings, whose lyrics include the line, "When my body won't hold me anymore and finally lets me free, will I be ready?" It all got me to thinking, an expression we use here in California when we want to describe a thought that randomly pops into our head, about death and dying. Our next piece is A Rugged Stint in Rehab by Susan Osborne. Ooh, Susan.
A rugged stint in rehab. The decrepit old geezer who shared my room, by hurling a bunch of malarkey and being an expert at mooching, managed to get the most attention from our overworked attendant. With his TV blaring night and day, the cacophony of his snoring, and his continual calls, "Hey nurse!" I got very little sleep. One morning, I awoke to an eerie quiet and an empty bed across from me. Pete had died in the night. A low murmur of "Yippee!" deep inside was quickly quenched by a voice that said, "Lucky for you, my dear, you get to go home soon."
Right, our next piece is titled Getting Even by Sam Frazier.
Go down if I try to go well. Getting even. Fresh out of college and admitted into law school, I needed a job. Applying for a job as a substitute teacher, Human Resources sent me to a special education school. The interview with the stunningly beautiful assistant principal went well. She said, "I think you have potential." She would be my boss. She was gifted at teaching special needs children. However, was not always easy and at times difficult on me. The education of her students was always foremost. She was truly gifted at teaching special needs children. I got even with her. A year later, I married her.
Next up, In Memoriam by Leslie Warren.
Lifting the shovel waist high, he drove it down into the soil with power sufficient to tear the head of the rattlesnake from its coolly muscled, exquisitely decorated body. Having previously been in repose, the snake began to writhe and twist, forming infinity symbols over and over again, like a maestro's hands conducting an orchestra. At the scene of this crime, I reflected on the decades-long mutualistic relationship we'd enjoyed anonymously, both living together and apart, he consuming the heinous rats that feed at my chicken coop, me providing the chicken feed that attracts the rats. Our equilibrium now forever severed.
By Phyllis Callback. The city, caught frogs for dinner and slept under bridges. Keep away, strangers hissed when he begged for money. Keep away, officers yelled as he rummaged through dumpsters filled with treasures. He moved his cart toward the park where children played. A memory touched his heart. There once was a boy, a mother, a smile. Keep away, parents shouted, keep away. Each evening, as he played his violin, a breeze carried his melodies floating over the city. The town's population opened their windows, stepped onto porches, leaned toward the river, and smiled. It Is For You by Art Horn. 2 absences in a row? Well, if you just want to keep hearing me. The doctor said, if you ignore it, the ringing in your head will go away. It kept on as much as I tried not to think about it. The ring was a precursor to pain. I clenched my teeth and fisted my fingers, readying for the thing to come. The vibrations started in my bones. Pain would make the ringing go away. With squeezed eyes shut and hands of knuckles, I waited for the knifing in my temples to start. It never came. I kept an eye open, seeing the black box on the table. It was the phone. Hello? Next up, The Writer's Quandary by Sarah Michie Pressler.
The Writer's Quandary by Sarah Mickey Pressler. You say only 100 utterances to articulate my denotation? A conundrum that's endured over decades of reportation. Shall I be vague and intentionally stupid? Murky and turbid, or am I pellucid? Must I stay sharp, wittingly lucid? I'll count to 100, might bring out the fluid. The number 100 seems such a limit, but in truth, it's exciting to think what is in it. Multisyllabic gives one more gambles to practice the art of extending one's rambles. Why say in a few words where there could be so many? Just say it succinctly, 100 is plenty.
Next up, Her Best Days by Rochelle Wilcox. These were supposed to be her best days, but she lives in Texas. It started 2 weeks ago. Only 67 days more and she'd have been a mother. But God had other plans. The blood came first, crimson tears dripping, then gushing from her. But it had only begun. The pain followed, red-hot knives twisting her from the inside, twisting him. But she still hoped, prayed, until she couldn't anymore. He stopped moving. The doctor said he never would. She'll stop moving soon, too. Her body can't do what the doctors told her they won't, because she lives in Texas.
Whoa.
Next piece is Windmills of the Mind by Jerry Elmer.
The eclipsed moon casts a bloody sheen upon the fog from the Pacific Ocean, oozing down over the Santa Cruz Mountains like grisly talons of death raking secluded Portola Valley. Now legend says the wood fiend stalks. Even the owls are silent. Better to be inside with the lights out. But sword, mace, or musket bodes no avail. It strikes without warning. No time for last words. The screeching comes after, not before. Anticipation is worse than knowing. An eerie moon glow filtering through the trees bathes the redwood slash on the ground in blood light. Now footsteps, stifled breath. Not me. Who?
Next up, Obeys Willingly by Nancy Lee Woody.
Nancy's not here.
I have so much fun reading these. I got to peek at them early. We married right after high school. As was tradition then, she took charge of house and kids, and I everything else. This arrangement worked well, I thought, until she discovered in the 70s Germaine Greer's book and feminist manifesto, The Female Eunuch, which she says changed her life and, regrettably, mine. After Germaine, college, and her teaching job, I wasn't in charge of anything except making beds, washing dishes, and laundry. I retired, but she's part-time teaching and volunteering. Admittedly lonely, I got me a puppy who's always happy to see me. Sits, stands, speaks on command, and obeys willingly. Next on our docket is The Latent Gay Japanese Tourist by Lisa Schlick.
My friend Fred called me one day from Japan. I'm bringing 16 young adult Japanese tourists to San Francisco. Help me out. I agreed. We met 2 months later and led them around North Beach to experience the nightlife. We walked into a crowded, lively bar. Men were dancing with, flirting with, and kissing other men. One of our tourists gasped, turned red, staggered backward, and ran out. Should I talk to him, I asked Fred. Maybe I can ease his distress with a few kind words. No, he has already lost face with the group. Don't mention it again.
Next is More Stories by Kevin Rapp.
Short story is called More Stories. I met my quiet father in the dining hall of the senior center.
Can't hear you, Kevin.
Can't hear you,
Speak
Kevin.
I met my quiet father in the dining hall of the senior center. What's wrong? I inquired. I need more stories, he whispered. You should hear the stories these other men have. The women eat them up. I chuckled. You have stories, right? He shook his head. I worked with spreadsheets for 30 years. What stories could I possibly have? He sighed. It's too late for me, but it's not too late for you. Get some stories. Now, as I desperately cling to a rocklet in Yosemite, I have one story in mind. Murder at the senior center.
What's That Smell by Nicole Goldmilton.
It's my first time on video. And first time anyone's heard this story other than my husband, which he was forced to listen to it twice last night. And I messed it up. So this is it. What's that smell? We're walking beside a Spanish country road in the sizzling afternoon heat when my buddy Tommy wrinkles his nose. What's that smell? I sniff my armpit. Me? No, more earthy, like rotten meat rolled in dirt. We reach an abandoned truck loaded with messy bundles in every shade of brown. Hesitating, we poke a matted clump as something filthy. It's wool, we exclaim in surprise. Not fluffy white lamb's fleece, but real wool, unwashed, oozing with lanolin, stained with mud and sheep poop. Wow, I never knew this is what wool looks like, I marvel. Or smells like, adds Tommy.
Next, we have Blue by Mary Boyle.
Blue. My fingers are numb. I peel off my gloves and find them blue. Strange. Below me, endless indigo. Above me, glowing, cracked, eggshell veined blue-white. I'm cold. My winter coat is a solid weight. I shed it. Lighter. Warmth. My boots are heavy. I work my left foot free, then my right. Warmer still. My woolen scarf and hat are next. Heat fills me. My shivering stops. Better. I turn my face upward. A jagged circle, robin's egg blue. Too far? I shimmy toward it, closer now. I reach out, but my warmed fingers won't curl around the edge.
Next, we have Who is Your Hero by Susan Korn.
Who is your hero? Does he wear a cape and a mask? Or does she wear an apron and a smile? Who is your hero? Do they leap tall buildings in a single bound? Or do they enter through the back door with a bundle of fresh cut wood in their arms to warm the winter air? Who is your hero? Do they run into burning houses, not knowing the danger that awaits them? Or do they drive fast with lights flashing and sirens blaring, risking their own lives to save yours? My hero is a veteran. Who is your hero?
Next is Watching the Giants by Bill Baines.
Watching the Giants. I have to follow every Giants game, or they won't win. I had to forward a midnight shift, and my boss monitors my every move. I watch on my computer. If I'm forced to switch screens, the Giants lose. So I got a remote job where I could set my own hours, much easier. But they kept losing. I experimented, tracking the game closely when I was under pressure to do something else. And they won. Apparently, it has to be burdensome to work. I did my best, but I was too often distracted. The Giants wound up with a losing record.
Next is Goodbye Princess by Del Dozier. Goodbye Princess. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
My collie's twinkly eyes wait for me to open the gate. She prances from side to side, her tail wagging as I enter. Princess rises on her hind legs, rests her paws on my shoulders, and licks my face. I gulp and squeeze her tight as tears stream down my cheeks. Kneeling down, I gaze deep into her eyes, my heart aching. Oh, Princess, I'm gonna miss you. She tilts her head, ears perked. I love you, but Mommy says we need to move and leave you forever. I'm sorry. She lifts her paw. I kiss it. Goodbye, Princess. Not least, Fire on the Mountain by Steve Enos.
Enough. About 2 weeks ago, I read for a poetry competition. Top 3 would be at the Sierra Poetry Fest. The year before, I did the same thing. In both cases, 22, 24 poets' names went into a bucket. In both cases, I was the last person drawn. I knew going into this, and I swear, this is, I'm not making this up. That I said, I'm going to be the last person to read. I know it. I mean, I didn't just think it or believe it. I knew it. And the people that are close to me, and especially my poetry group, know I'm a Taoist, Buddhist. I don't know what to tell you. 1986, this is 100 words out of a poem that I wrote in 1986. When I was a wildland firefighter, I did a career on the hotshot crew and helicopters. 1986, we're on the top of a mountain, the end of a fire season. Big Sur, we're done, we want the hell out. I wrote a poem while up there, then I broadcast it on radio.
Wow.
They never found out who did it. I kept my mouth shut. Smokey was happy. This is 100 words out of that. So from 1986, called Fire on the Mountain. I'd have drinking water, food, and chainsaw fuel. A forgotten fire crew down hand tools and pure grit waited on a remote ridgetop for helicopter extraction out of the Big Sur wilderness. After a long, hard fire season, months on the road, countless fires, endless miles of hand line cut, backfired and held. Blood, sweat, and tears, flesh and bone paid, heroics and valor only seen by those few swinging hand tools, running chainsaws. Fearless gladiators fighting rampaging infernos up close and personal. Eating fire, breathing smoke, risking everything, giving all on the battlefield of fire. Wop, wop, wop. Time to head home.
So I'm gonna go one by one, and I'll invite each of our podium members to come and read their piece as soon as I've kind of sung your praises enough. So in third place, we have the tantalizing, suspenseful, a perfect pocket-sized thriller. Please welcome back up to the podium, Windmills of the Mind by Jerry Owen.
Wow.
The eclipsed moon casts a bloody sheen upon the fog from the Pacific Ocean, oozing down over the Santa Cruz Mountains like grisly talons of death, raking secluded Portola Valley. Now, legend says, the wood fiend stalks. Even the owls are silent. Better to be inside with the lights out. But sword, mace, or musket bodes no avail. It strikes without warning. No time for last words. The screeching comes after, not before. Anticipation is worse than knowing. An eerie moon glow filtering through the trees bathes the redwood slash on the ground in blood light. Now footsteps, stifled breath. Not me. Who?
Chupacabra in the back photo. All right, our second place, equal parts heartfelt, inspiring, and humorous. This piece leaves off on a cliffhanger of a much different sort. In second place, More Stories by Kevin Rapp.
Stories. I met my quiet father in the dining hall of a senior center. What's wrong? I inquired. I need more stories, he whispered. You should hear the story these other men have. The women eat them up. I chuckled. You have stories, right? He shook his head. I worked with spreadsheets for 30 years. What stories could I possibly have? He sighed. It's too late for me, but it's not too late for you. Get some stories. Now, as I desperately cling to a Routledge Yosemite, I have one story in mind: murder at the senior center.
Our first place winner for the 100-word fiction contest. Our podium-topping story juxtaposes repulsion at a figure's presence with the draw caused by his soul and his art. Unfortunately, they are not here, but Keep Away by Phyllis Callback is our crowned winner. Just hold it like this for the group photo.
A picture for her, though. That's too bad.
Yes.
Yeah, all right. Phyllis is fifth.
I'd forget my head if it wasn't on my neck. He lived by the river that ran through the city, caught frogs for dinner, and slept under bridges. Keep away, strangers hissed when he begged for money. Keep away, officers yelled as he rummaged through dumpsters filled with treasures. He moved his cart toward the park where children played. A memory touched his heart. There once was a boy, a mother, a smile. Keep away, parents shouted, keep away. Each evening, as he played his violin, a breeze carried his melodies floating over the city. The town's population opened their windows, stepped onto porches, leaned toward the river, and smiled. Small decisions. A comma, an em dash, a blank space is what can make or break a piece. And with the submissions we have can also be the line drawn between placements. Truly, I do not envy our shadow cohort of judges in having to pick platinum from a pile of gold. Without further ado, let's hear our poets read their submissions. First up is someone who is absent. Libby's Granddaughter by Barbara Musket. I am my grandmother's eyes, mouth, and feet. Her eyes, hazel, small, tearing easily, eyes that see beyond the surface. Her mouth, thin-lipped, wrinkled with lines, a mouth which speaks the truth and tries not to hurt. Her feet, bunions and all, feet which have walked through the past. I hope I am my grandmother's heart. Next up, we have Sweet Baby Girl by Susan Osborne.
Based on the column response approach. And so I hope you will join me in saying the fourth line of each of these sections, which is our day will come. Except for the last section where I will hold up my hand and there will be a different fourth sentence. Sweet baby girl, a walk in the park with the sound of a lark and a dog's friendly bark, our day will come. Time at the beach, savoring a peach, friends within reach, our day will come. Learning to dance, watching colts prance, studying ants, our day will come. Reading out loud, pondering a cloud, seeing snow plowed, our day will come. A ride on a plane, a run in the rain, eating sugar cane, our day will come. Seeing a play, working with clay, boating on the bay, our day will come. Exchanging a kiss, hearing snakes hiss, living in bliss, our day will come. Traveling in a car, wishing on a star, with a genie in a jar, we shall go far.
Daddy, read me a story by Michael O'Haver.
Daddy, can you read me a story? Which story would you like? You know, one that you wrote. A chance too good to pass up. A parent of a child you're going to have to bear with me. I just had cataract surgery. I can see far away, but I can't read. I've forgotten my reading glasses. A parent of a child has a chance.
Can we help you?
Do you want Jojo to read it for you?
Jojo can read it.
Yeah, it probably would be better.
Daddy, can you read me a story? Which story would you like? You know, one that you wrote. A chance too good to pass up. A parent of a child has a chance to be a mentor to their young, to reinforce the right way. They are only young once. When your child's tiny hand gives you that special book, it could be the very same one that a few short years later might go on a mission trip that is caring for a leper, helping someone in trouble, or could be opening a Bible. Or they could be pointing a gun that is loaded with bullets, at someone during a robbery, or shoplifting from a store. The hand right now is small, but it is being held in your hand. It is susceptible to your teaching. It won't remain that way long. So teach them while you can, and if you have a writing gift, remember that hand will grow. It is the hand of the future. Next we have Leftovers by Kathleen Ward. Anemic potatoes hardened with cold, and small peas, pasty and yellow, where margarine congealed. Gravy jellified on a slice of dried roast. I almost threw them out, but seeing some small value still, microwaved instead. Round and round they danced to the dazzling light and soft, dull hum of the modern techno kitchen. They turned out rather good. Clyde shuffles across the courtyard, his spare, bent frame and broken spirit a living mausoleum to Helen, who left so suddenly one chilly August night. He enters his trailer and pulled the curtains tight against the summer sun. Later, I stopped to visit Louise, her mind so lost in time, she doesn't know her daughter, my friend, died 2 years ago. English, too, is forgotten. In her dreams, she waltzes through Bavarian childhood. I can't talk with her, but as we share contraband sweets, giggle, and exchange shy smiles, I consider how a little light and warmth works wonders. We have Writer's Paradox by Nicole Goldman.
The Writer's Paradox, this was inspired by how people feel sometimes. I'm a bad writer, so don't tell me that my ideas are honest, original, and brave, because with every text-filled page, I see problems with commas and em dashes. So I'm not going to lie that words are my friends. I keep reminding myself my writing is weak, and no one's critique can make me believe I'm a creative person. Because no matter what, I have no talent for writing, and I refuse to believe my story is engaging. Because when I start a new scene, I think, am I a bad writer? And now I will read the same poem, starting from the bottom to the top.
Right.
Am I a bad writer? Because when I start a new scene, I think my story is engaging, and I refuse to believe I have no talent for writing, because no matter what, I am a creative person, and no one's critique can make me believe my writing is weak. I keep reminding myself, words are my friends. So I'm not going to lie that I see problems with commas and em dashes, because within every text-filled page, my ideas are honest, original, and brave. So don't tell me that I'm a bad writer.
Next we have This Morning Moment by Leslie Warren.
At the broad window, I hold my favorite porcelain mug in two warmed hands. It's filled this morning with a chai, richly flavorful, aromatic, and steaming. The cashmere I wear is so fine I barely feel it on my body. Naked toes read intricate patterns in the Persian carpet. Frail sunlight rests lightly on tall winter grasses, each frosted, brittle, and white. Titmice, finches, and juncos gorge on black oil sunflower seeds of the feeder. Hung from an old apple tree, black branches bare of leaves, its trunk scarred by foragers. Vivaldi's mandolin concerto saturates like a caress. The last winter rose stands elegantly in a bud vase. Witness to the universe, I feel stillness.
Now, it's probably hard to believe that a retired teacher gets nervous speaking, but kids, I'm great. Grown-ups, you guys are scary, so I'm going to pretend you're all 8 years old, but in a respectful way. The cracks sparkle. The primal sadness runs through our generations like the fissures in my crystal bowl. My mother tried to repair the trauma, to put wholeness back together after it shattered into jagged pieces. Glue fills the cracks with a brittle yellow seal that's seeped through the connections. Our brokenness is more evident each time the light shines on the vessel of our grief. But the cracks also sparkle with hardened determination. Do not deny the sadness that we will always carry, the trauma that holds our broken family together, the night the crystal was broken, the season our neighbors tried to destroy us, the years the world looked aside. We survived for this primal sadness to run through our generations like the fissures in my crystal hole.
Next we have I Am by Sarah Mickey.
Called it I Am. Is it going? I am adored by a dog, bitten by 2 cats and 1 dog, charged by an elephant, chased by a pelican, checked out by an owl, climbed by a chimpanzee, courted by an ostrich, crashed into by a wild boar, eaten alive by safari ants, felled by a chihuahua, groomed by a monkey, hunted by hyenas, ignored by a cat, investigated by a bush baby, peed on by a lab, pooped on by a songbird, saved by a border collie, scoped out by a shark, serenaded by a turtle, stung by a bee, taken by a horse, thanked by a kitten twice, threatened by a raccoon, and treed by a Cape buffalo. But what does it all mean?